Good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you feeling today? Today, guys, I'm going to be talking to at Shay Rozar Official on Instagram. That's at Shay Rozar Official. Add him now, and we're going to talk about his health and fitness lifestyle, clientele, everything else. Hi, Liva. How are you? You okay, baby? We're going to be talking to Uncle Rosa, Shay Rosa Official on Instagram, and he's also a director, filmmaker, and illustrator and writer. So we're going to ask him a bit more about that, fitness side, director side. We're going to get into it, okay? So let me add him now.
Oh, what's going on?
What's going on, Rose? You alright?
I'm good. I'm good. How
Yeah,
you
you
doing?
look good, man. It's early. Now I called you early, and just to tell you that you're amazing because I did research. I did research on you, yeah, and I was like, "Wow, you don't even know your friend." Shame. Like the things that you're doing, yeah. I'm like, "Wow." Obviously, I knew about China and everything else, but the deeper I went, I'm like, Rosa, you're like, you're like amazing, isn't it? But I just had to let you know, yeah, it's amazing. But tell us who you are, Rose, and tell us what you do.
So my name is Shay Rozar, and I am a whole bunch of different things. So I am an illustrator, writer. I'm also a personal trainer.
Mm,
I'm also a film director, and yeah, I'm an entrepreneur all
yes,
around. So
yes, man.
there's a, I
Eh?
understand that this is actually. I said there's a few things I could say, but I understand this is actually like about fitness. So
No,
I
you
want to
can
keep
say
it.
say what you are because you're related to fitness regardless, isn't it? So it's fine. Just say what you do, everything.
Yeah, of course. Everything that I do is pretty much connected to fitness in that type of way. So, even down to the illustrations and things that I do,
Yeah, the
you
characters are
know,
all fit.
yeah, it's all fitted. Like if you check some of the illustrations that I have there's one particular illustration on my Instagram right now where you'll see this guy flexing, but he's blocking this direct hit from this lady with a sword.
Yeah, yeah. And she's
And
going in like,
yeah, and that flex right there, I actually got that from a bodybuilder named Flex Wheeler.
oh
So
wow.
Flex, yeah, so I was inspired by the symmetrics because they call him the master of on stage. They call him the master of the master of symmetrics or
Yeah,
symmetry,
yeah,
symmetry,
symmetrics.
symmetric. So so with that, I used his body or his arm as a reference
Yeah,
for the picture. So, and even for the girl, I've used two women for that particular girl, that
yeah, yeah.
particular
I was
character,
gonna ask you that.
which is yourself. I've
Me?
used you as a reference. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Who?
And I've
Which one's
used
me? The one with the afro?
sword, yeah, because all right, so I had something here I was gonna show to you,
Show
but I was gonna
me.
wait till later to show you. All right, but it's a poster.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get the poster. I'll be right back. Is that all right?
yeah, man. Go for it. I'll just talk to people. So, guys, did you just hear that? Rosa said that he gets inspiration from people to create his characters in his comics, and one of his characters that he created was kind of like based on me. So I'm a bit like, okay, thanks, Rosa. I'm feeling a bit blushy, you know. I want to see it.
Okay, so this character right here.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it. Oh my God, she's beautiful. She's
Yeah, so
beautiful.
so she's based off of there was a photo shoot you did where you had this big afros all naturally out, and he
Yeah.
was like, there was certain things you was doing, you looking mad strong.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that? Use one of these references and use it. So
Wow.
and there's another girl that I used as reference. Her name is Alicia Sherrill. She was actually the girl who played in the short film that I
Yeah, I
directed called The
remember.
Turn.
She looked good, man.
Amazing physique
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
At least getting ready to prepare for some shows coming up and
Yeah.
in the shows she is you know, amazing because she got flexibility and everything like that. But the detail, I trained with her like a couple
Yeah,
weeks
she's
ago.
got definition, innit? Yeah, I remember you showed me a photo about 5 years ago. I still got it in my head of how great she looked, you know?
Yeah, she looks phenomenal. So I like training with people who, you know, who look really good. Like, not to
Yeah.
say that I wouldn't train with, you know, like that. I'll train with anybody.
Yeah, I know.
Come up and say, yo, train, man. I'm pretty much down to train with
Yeah.
anybody as long as you're serious about it.
Say that again? Sorry, you said as long as you're serious about it. What did you say after that? It cut out. It said, when you said
No,
someone has to be serious to train with you.
yeah, unless they have to be serious because you know a lot of times you get people say, yo, I want to train with you, I want to train with you, and then they get caught up at the same time and they're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm here, you're here, let's train. And then you realize in the first reps or the first thing we decide to do, they start getting on their phone or you turn
Yeah.
around, they disappear. Want to
Yeah.
go to the bathroom and it's, man, when you go to the bathroom before we start doing something,
Yeah. I don't
you know what
like
I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
But you get those type of people that you'll always tell you they want to train. You've been there, and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, we're
Yeah.
gonna train. You start training, you turn around, look around, and like, it's your turn. And they're gone. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Experience, experience like one set. And
Mm.
they in the set, they're probably like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? These guys are not playing. And they're
Yeah.
counting every time I do a rep. So
It's
I
like,
can't
and,
even
and
get it
it's like the
right.
people that you train with, most of them would look good anyway because of the standard as well. You wouldn't really go and train with someone who's not on your level when you're doing your actual
No,
personal training yourself. But then when it comes to
yeah,
you working with people and being a personal trainer, it's any level. Like, you're good, innit?
yeah. I mean, if I can learn something from somebody that I'm training with,
Mm.
it's amazing. You leave that with more in your arsenal to go back. Now, when you train by yourself or
Yeah.
with somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you're training somebody, you can then add certain things as a benefit to you to implement in your training guides for yourself and for others. So
Yeah.
it's always great learning. Learning is fundamental every single day. And if you
Mm.
can do that in training, you know, some people question like, why do you go and do the same thing repetition over and over again? And
Mm.
it's the discipline that's behind that, the discipline of doing that repetition over and over again to achieve something at the end of it. And then even once you achieve, it's never ending. So for me, it's never ending. People
Mm.
say, it's all right now. You can stop. You got the abs, you got the physique, you got this, you got that. And it's like, no, I look at myself and say, there's still more that I can expand on. As you get older, you get better. It's not you get older and you get bad or get worse off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you should actually get in every single thing that you do. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then for not to, you know, excuse any other um, race out in that respect, but you know, for us as Black people, we have a great genetic background already,
Mm.
so we age slower. So it allows us to really pay attention to our body. If we, you know, really pay attention
Mm.
to it, we can achieve some really great things
Yeah.
going on later in life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I had an uncle who rest in peace, who he was older than all of us. Like he was my mom's uncle's uncle. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
Like he was still alive, flexing. He had his own gym and everything. He was Mr. Universe multiple times,
Mm.
and you know, different things like that. So, and out of respect, you know, because he's so close to my grandmother, you know, everybody calls him uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, if you see this guy in pictures and things like that, it's phenomenal. At 75 years old, going on 80 years old, the striations, the details in his chest,
Mm.
as soon as he flexes his smiles, it's like you could tell he's been just like
Doing it all his
maturity of the
life.
muscle,
True
crazy.
FitNatixs. Been doing it all his
I'm
life.
inspired by it.
Mm?
I'm inspired by those things. It's not about humanity. It's more about the fact that he was so dedicated to wanting to do that.
Yeah.
And that's probably my strong connection with martial arts. Martial arts was first, before weightlifting or anything like that, or
Yeah.
even gym. You know, in school growing up, we had gyms in our school. You know, and in high school, we had a pretty big gym.
Yeah.
My school in high school was in Michigan, in a place called Mount Clemens, just outside of Detroit. And coming out of there, they had a really nice gym. So they had this leg press and all this type of stuff. And
Yeah.
so we only did for competition just to see how strong we were.
Okay.
I never really looked at, I need to lift so I can look good or look a physical way. It wasn't till I started getting older that I realized, you know, the girls, you know, they love little muscle. You got to look a certain way, you
Yeah.
know. So, and I was athletic. So naturally athletic, I was able to, you know, get on the football team or get on the basketball team or pretty much any type of sports I wanted in the first draft.
Because you had it naturally.
To go for the, yeah, it wouldn't be, oh, you got to come, Shay, you got to come back, try next time. They'd be like, no, what's your grades looking like? You know, because in that type of, certain type of schools, they think about curriculum first.
Yeah.
So as much as you want it to be playing, you got to have your grades on point, at least have a C+ grade or C grade average. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how.
Weekend.
So
Sorry, get her out and close the door, baby. Thank you. Sorry, my dog just ran in there like, what up? Like, she's like, what's up? What's going on? I'm like, get out. But go on.
Dog, I would like to see the dog, man.
Huh? Oh, God damn it. Weekend.
It's all good. You ain't back.
Weekend. Weekend. I think they've shut their door, you know, because I've told them, like, when I'm doing this thing, where you see when I'm on live, close your door. But they're good. They're good. They're getting to the point where they're like, oh, Mum, look, I know you got to do this thing now, innit? I said, it's called an interview. But they're proper supportive.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're really supportive, and I appreciate them so much. But I'll bring over to come and see you. We'll go park and that. Yeah? She's a little Frenchie, but she might try and come back in here. You know, she gets out. She's smart. She's really smart. And when you ask her to, like, eat food, she goes up on 2 paws like this. Like, to get her food. And when she's outside, she has 1 paw up when she's looking at people like, you too posh, you know? She's lovely, man. But yeah, back to you. What's your aim? Like, you said you get inspired by people that you meet for characters and stuff like that. But where do you get the inspiration naturally for characters that are not people who are around you? How do you create that character? Like, how do you create it? Like, when it's on the paper?
Different characters are like a mesh of different things that I grew up with or grew up on.
Okay.
So from the shows that I watched as a young kid growing up to the books that I read that were on, you know, far-fetched fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah, you said the Saturday morning show.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then even down to religion itself also. So all of that meshed just provided, you know, background stories and these particular things to add up to the character. So sometimes for me, I do it in reverse, where it's not necessarily about the look of the character, it's about what the actual character is, and that can make up what the character actually would look like in the end.
Yeah, and then their suits, you know, their suits, what the gods wear, like red and gold. Like, where did you get that?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, well, you know, the colors, you know, purple, you know, has that sense of royalty, you know, different religions would say different things, or different mythologies could say different things about different colors. But I know those particular colors are very prominent: gold, you know, red, purple, and then gold is low amber. So you're getting, you know, that sense of calmness from the amber, but you get that solidarity from the red and the predominance of the. Now, as I said to my neighbor yesterday, red is not always a bad thing.
Nah, it's good luck in China, isn't it? It's good luck in China.
Yeah, so, and exactly, you know, it's something that represents different flags all over the world, including this one, and others. Red is incorporated pretty much predominantly a lot of flags, and if you think about it, a lot of the flags have red. You know what I'm saying? So So yeah, it's just one of those things.
That's good,
This
man.
particular show,
What
I'm a fan
would
of
your
Hulk Hogan.
clients say about you, Rose? If I was to ask your clients, like, what's Rosa like? Like, what's he like? What would they say about you?
They would say I would hope they would say I was good first and foremost.
He bad.
What I found is that everybody's a different individual, but there's a very common thing.
What have you heard about yourself though, like through like client word of mouth?
I'm very military. I'm very military.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. My uncle was one of those people, which is my mom's brother. He was one of those people that raised me. Well, both brothers raised me, and they had a very militant mindset. My mom had a very militant mindset. My grandmother had a very militant mindset. And because of that.
Why? Were they in the military?
Well, uncle was, and then I was getting ready to go into the U.S. military. And my grandma got on the phone. My mom got on the phone. It was like, no, that's not happening.
Where you going?
You know what? And the thing is, I signed up everything. Signed the forms and everything. Was ready to get picked up. you know?
Like, no. I wouldn't have met you, man. That would have been horrible. Yeah. What are you going there for? Oh, stay on land. Stay here.
The thing, right? In anything that I do, I see it all the way through. So with something like that, I'm going to see it all the way through. I'm trying to get nobody until I had all them badges there, all of those colors.
I can imagine you as well.
Yeah, you would have had to call me lieutenant or major, sergeant.
Sexy, man.
I wasn't going to stop, things like that. I'm not going to stop until I, have met the, met the myself. Not for everybody else, but for myself, I met that criteria.
Yeah.
I come from a place where inside myself where, I have to push forward against this wall.
Yeah, babe.
And until the wall crumbles. But for me, I don't mind the wall not crumbling, because as I keep pushing it, the stronger it makes me, in the sense of, I remember you sent a message to me yesterday, or the other day, like, you all right? And I was like, no, not really. Because, some people be like,
some people be like, that's what I love about you, Rose, That's why I love you, because you're honest as a man. Okay.
So I'll just tell you, no, I'm not really okay right now. But you know what? You got pushing, right?
That's boy, he does that.
Yeah, I'm breathing. See, I'm breathing. That's the thing. I got to be thankful.
Yeah.
I was working for the NHS for the past 2 years, part-time, right? So during the pandemic, I was working all the way through that. And so my strength physically paid a big attribute in not getting sick and being able to look after people. I was in places that I weren't even supposed to. I had no business being there, but I was there because, those people needed help. So it was a lot, from carrying large amounts to, big, huge people to smaller people. You get to see health and life and death all at one time.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience that I probably would never go back for again. And shout out to all of those shout out to all of those that's still there, that's been doing decades of that work.
Yeah.
It's a consistent thing. You are
amazing, isn't it?
Truly blessed. They're truly blessed for
you gotta be a certain type of person to do that, So.
Absolutely. And they have resilience all in itself. And that taught me a lot. Having those experiences there taught me a lot. So even when leaving this and then going to teach a class straight after, I had this mindset like, wow, like I want to train. Like, I want to help these people that are in my class now. Like, I'm trying to invite nurses that, and doctors class, and it's a great thing when they do show up and they try it out and they end up loving it. It becomes a good part of their routine. Discipline is within discipline.
Yeah.
And that, good routine, can be a great thing for you, your life, and everything.
Yeah, especially if you've got consistency with it, with the routine.
Absolutely.
What does the industry need?
like this? How did you get the abs? How did you get, you know, I've had abs since I was 8. You can ask any of my family members.
Come.
You can ask any family member that's known me. I've had them since 8 years old. And that's because of the consistency. Oh, here we go.
Who's that? Who's that, all right? Say hi, Baba. All right, she's just trying it. This is why I don't let her in, because look how she's going on. Say hi with your ears and that. Say hi with your ears. Say hello, look. Look. She's not on it, Rose. Bye, get out. Go fly. Take care, Rain. Take care.
So,
say that again?
Nice dog.
Ah?
Nice dog.
Thank you. She's good.
That's a nice.
She makes me happy, innit? So that's why I keep her. When she stops making me happy, I'm going to give her to my sons.
Bro, your skin looks so good. Man. Your skin looks so good. It's glowing, girl.
Thank you. I'm hot. I'm sweating. I've got the heating on, like, I got the heating on. Thank you so much, man. I can't hear you. Say that again. I never heard you.
Oh, you didn't hear me? No, I was just saying, skin looks great. You're talking about you're hot and sweaty. I'm here dry, like dried out, trying to moisturize.
Nah, you look good all the time, Rose, especially in burgundy. Oh my God. When you're wearing burgundy, nigga, I forget I'm your friend and that. I was like, oh God, he's so lovely. Yeah, tell me what the industry needs. What does the industry need, Rose? What does it need more of?
The industry needs, there's a couple of things the industry needs, but I would say that one of the main things the industry needs is a new program in dealing or tackling with those who don't have the good routine.
Wow, that's the best answer I've heard.
The thing is, advertisement is one thing where you're just belligerently putting something in front of their face all the time. It gets to a point where they're just ignore it. The same way smokers ignore that sign on that picture on there. Yo, my friend came over the other day and I was like, you got to go to the balcony with that. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, yo, how could you smoke this with the picture of this person's neck with the hole in it? All right. And you see just like a lung just slapped on a cold table. Like,
a pair of lungs in it and they're black. Like, and then you're like,
yeah. Well, you're showing somebody's teeth and it looks like somebody done been chewing on moss and lead at the same damn time. I don't even know what to say, man.
Oh my God, you're funny.
Certain folks looking at girls, man, and they all right with that. And I'm like, how can you do that? But it's because the consistency of doing that bad habit or that habit, no matter what it is, and you fly over the fact that it's like, all right, another example would be, we know they were hurting from something. Like, for example, I stretched my groin, right? Like too much and pulled it. I'm still in there. I pulled it last week, but I'm still up in here doing high kicks and stretches and kicking the bag like ain't nothing wrong. And then when I get home now, I'm up here like trying to lift my leg over like it's a prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
Because I done went I oversee or just forget about those things that's wrong or the problem, and then continue to just stubbornly go forward. And that's another thing, stubbornness.
Yeah.
So if we can just ravel the stubbornness, but in a way where, I don't know, it brings people in. Like, for example, Zumba used to get on my nerves. Like, as I worked for different gyms, class used to get on my nerves. Because it was like, what is that? Like, just, and then it'd be packed. Because everybody wants to dip in there, shaking their ass and dancing.
It's like, the grapevine,
busy. But then, and then a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in a long time, shout out to Mark. I used to work with him for Fit for Less in Cafford. And him and his wife, Michelle, or his girlfriend, Michelle, they were cut to pieces, you know, the chiseled, you know, like, again, amazing athlete looking and, you know, middle age, like they're up there, you know, and they still look fantastic. You know, it almost looks like, all right, you can quit now. Because if you don't quit, you know, we're not going to see some, you know what I'm saying? That graphics chart where you could just see nothing but muscle and it's just muscle everywhere.
like a diagram.
So they said to me, like, why don't you try it out? And I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. See what, you know, see what it's like. So I did it. Oh, the cardio, the levels. I was like, this ain't just dancing. I'm literally like sweating in the first 20 minutes from doing all this standing there back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
I was just saying, I'm doing this, you know, in the class.
And it's like, it does loosen you up. It loosens up the joints and the bones. And then after that, I went to do some lifting.
Yeah.
And wow, like, you know, you feel more.
So you would recommend Zumba then?
I recommend Zumba. I recommend any type of dancing. Any type of dancing. I think dancing is part of the gateway to good cardiovascular, and also to routine exercise. Just not consistently drinking with the alcohol at the same time. Because, you know, people say, hey, well, then we club and we partying and we working out. No, we're not. Because you're ruining your body at the same time as you're trying to give yourself some, you know, some cardiovascular energy or exercise.
That's like those clients that like make out like they're actually doing what you're telling them to do behind closed doors, and they're not.
No, this is what kills me too. They act like we can't see that.
Yeah, like we can see, because by week 6, if you're not looking how you're supposed to, anatomy wise, like why are you wasting your own time?
You know, this is the other thing too. I noticed in the past couple of years, because I started to minimalize my clients.
So did I.
And I was thinking, I started doing these different programs. Like last year, I did Fantastic Four program, where I literally took 4 fantastic people and made them even more fantastic than they actually were.
That's amazing. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and I did that. I'm going to do another one this summer. It's the Fantastic Four boot camp, where I take 4 individuals and I guarantee them to within a certain period of time.
Yeah, wow, that's great.
They have to do exactly everything that I tell them, even when I don't. Yes, we can give them the diet plan. It doesn't mean that they're going to do that. They could ignore it, just like that picture on the cigarette box.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way we got to do it is like, this is a part of what I'm showing you, not just the training here. And I'm going to call them. I'm going to text them. It's better off I text them and badger them. What you eat today? How's your day going?
Yeah.
But then you have to be careful. You're careful because as a PT or a teacher, because we are teachers, but we're personally somebody, we have to understand that we can become a counselor and a psychiatrist out of nowhere. So, you know, for real, because I've had clients where they feel,
I've helped marriages.
Oh, now the thing is, it's crazy because you want to help these people, right? In deliverance of where they're at to where they could be. But then you shouldn't have to feel responsible for all the mental breakdowns that could possibly happen, you know, during the time of trying to train them. However, it comes a part of the package. And that's not in the training list when you're doing level 2, level 3, and level 4.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
counseling. Why did they do, like, there's no modules where they're like life coaching. Well, they did do life coaching, but like,
it's a title.
We're kind of like a therapist as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, you can talk to us about anything, anytime. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole session, as long as you're keeping up the workout. Like, we're there for people mentally as well, not just physically.
Absolutely. So, you know, all these elements come into that, and they don't appreciate that. Some of those don't appreciate or acknowledge that. That comes within the package.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's another feature. It's a strong feature that comes a part of training you for those consecutive amount of days or weeks or sessions.
Yeah.
You know,
and we think about you when we're at home. Like, I don't think clients understand. Like, we think about you more than we, like, as much as we think about ourselves. Once you've made that payment for the service, you are now under my wing, and I want to do whatever it takes. You know what I mean? It's a serious thing, but you can sense kind of like who the serious clients are and who the clients ain't. Once you have been in the industry for a while, you start to grasp that energy of, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be long with this person because of how they're reacting to this training. Do you know what I mean? That's what clients need to understand. And don't think PTs just want to sign you up and train you. Like, the elite PTs like us are watching every fucking thing you're doing. We're watching you online. We're watching you everywhere. Like, I research my clients, you know. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. I want to change your life. You've come to me for that. Do you know what I mean? So that's why the goals, when they reach their goals, that's the best part of the whole fucking process.
It's the feeling, because you've added to yourself, because what you've done is you've created a new energy.
Yeah.
Okay. A new attitude within them. So you've helped to help that person. That energy then falls back onto you and resonates on you and elevates you to another place.
Yeah, and you know what? I saw a client the other day, big up Kada. Kada, I love you! Kada, I met her in Wavelength, and she was fake running. She was fake running on a cross trainer. This how it was. She's doing this.
Fake run.
It worked me. I'm like, I went over to her, like, excuse me, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm running. I'm like, you're not. You know, and then she started laughing. We kind of had a conversation, and I trained her for a year. This woman lost about 4 or 5 stone.
Wow.
And trust me, she's dedicated. I seen her last year, late last year, at Deptford Bridge Station. This woman, she's slimmer than what we did. She's gone past it. She's still keeping it up. So it's a part of her lifestyle. She's a whole new woman. She's a whole fucking new woman. She's not the same. And she did look good big. She looked good big as well. Lovely, voluptuous, but it weren't healthy internally. Do you know what I mean? She knew it. She said, I go for a whole bottle of wine a night, and now I don't drink wine. She's like, I don't eat patties every now and again. She changed everything. And just seeing her like 6 years down the line, to me, that was success. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Yeah, and it's like, when you see the outcome of that, it's also one of those things where if they keep it up, like your friends kept that up, and you see them later, and it's like, look at what's happened to them. So you were already proud of them.
It makes me so happy.
Like, it's a work of art, you know, because as an artist, as an illustrator, I like to sculpt also.
Yeah.
And I look at it like a thing where I'm sculpting a human being without physically touching them, but I'm actually sculpting this human being from one thing to another thing, whether it be their mind also. I'm doing that also because you're shaping a militant type of module.
Tell me about when you went to China, Rose. You said it changed your life forever. How?
Okay, so the first trip to China, I was invited to the Shaolin Temple in 2000. I was invited to be a part of a competition, and the competition was made up of 36 people from martial artists from all over the world. I would say they were martial artists / entertainers, because the whole theme of the competition was to be the next action star, or be looked at as, you know, someone that's up and coming, to be aspiring the next action star. So you get a movie deal at the end of the competition.
Oh, that's good. So
it started off as a competition, but that at the same time, when I was invited and I flew out to Shaolin Temple, so we went to Hong Kong first. From Hong Kong, we got prepped, and then we went to Shaolin Temple, and we basically lived there and was with the monks for 2 weeks to start off. And then if you made it past the 2 weeks of the rigorous training every morning, then you would move on to the next level, which means that you would stay there longer, and you would actually be a part of a big ceremony where the monks, the abbot would actually, you know, give you, like what they say, commemoration and also a reward for making it through and being accepted by a Shaolin and accepting their trials and going through their trials and basically getting through to the end. And once you get through that, they then flew us out. If you made it to the finals after that, you were then flown out back to Hong Kong or back to another mainland part of China, a city called, a province called Shenzhen. And we were part of Shenzhen. So Shenchen.
I know as y'all say, Shenzhen. It's kind of spelled how it's said, isn't it?
Yeah, so certain things are pronounced a certain way. What you would think is Z is not, is sh. And it has like, and I may even be saying it wrong. So, you know, it's not until I get there, because of going there so many times consecutively.
How much have you been there?
Overall, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 9, 8 times.
Have you been to Japan?
Yes, I have.
Beijing?
Yes, I have.
Korea?
No, I got invited though.
What's the other one called? Seoul? S-O-E-U-L? What's it? Seoul? Seoul?
Seoul. That's the
Where's that?
Seoul or so. That's the capital of North Korea, I think.
Okay, thanks for that geography.
I couldn't know if that is.
I didn't know that. It's a beautiful place, man. Lovely people there as well. Done some like documentary research on that country, which is my geek stuff that I do. I mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what's your favorite country? Because you went to Egypt one time, innit? For your birthday.
Oh, I've been there 5 times.
Yeah, but you look like the you look like you know the statues. You kind of got like the same structure. How come you're connected to these places like naturally? Is that solid?
Well, I strongly believe after being there 5 times, and sometimes like I would say 3 times out of the 5, I wasn't planning on going there. And then I think what solidified that, or me being a part of that lineage, is I was there on top of Ramses' tomb on 11/11/11.
Yeah, I remember. You told me you was gonna do it.
And I'm actually born on that day.
I know.
I'm born 11. So to be standing on top of Ramses' tomb above the temples on a 900-foot drop behind me and taking this picture, I got this picture where I've just got my hands out pretty much.
How did you feel?
And then,
You felt powerful, innit?
Oh, I felt super. From the moment I got off the plane, I felt powerful.
Yeah? What are the people like when you get there? They're like, hi, like, because you look like they're gods.
After they realized that they couldn't buy my mom's, because they tried to buy my mama, like as soon as we got there, because I went with my mom's, and they just pretty much just started coming over to me, like, my mom was pretty young, so
they wanted to
just
buy her from you.
They thought she was my wife. I'm like, no, that's my mom's, and my man was like, I still buy her. I have 2 goats. I have 5 cows. I give you. I'm like, yo, like,
oh, that's lovely.
I've never experienced that before. Somebody coming over and literally trying to buy my family relative off of me.
My mama.
You would think that you could buy my wife. Say that was my wife.
Yeah.
You can have to come up and think, I will sell my wife to you. Are you? But otherwise, after I got through that, it was blessed. I mean, they were at service. Those people that are there, they're all hustlers. I don't want to knock them because they've been there as Egyptians for generation to generation to generation. So they believe that they're Egyptian, you know?
Yeah.
But the mentality of a real Egyptian, which is ones that I really met, like near Lamu, and those places where they said, you look like Lamu, you look like this, you look like that. They thought my mama was Nefertiti.
Oh, I can't wait to go. They're going to think I'm Queen Taye.
And the worst thing is when we went to the tomb where Nefertiti is, and my mom stood next to those, the same way you're talking about my structure of my face, it was like everyone
there. You can see the structure, yeah. Like, is that her in life?
Yeah. And all that was missing was that long hat that she used to wear, the elongated hat, which apparently is to hide the elongated head. You know what I mean? So
I wonder
And
if
I
it
won't go into
was.
all.
I wonder if it was really
Yeah.
like if she took her hat off and that was all her head. 'Cause where
Well,
are you
this
gonna
is the
store that
thing.
knowledge?
I think I believe it was a lot of hair and head. She had a big old head and hair,
Hair,
you
big
know.
old hair. But yeah, what's she debate? Debate. What did I say there? And had.
What's up, people out
What's the
there?
style of training you did in China again?
What's up? Huh?
What's the style of
Say
training
that
you
again.
did?
In China, or to start with?
To start
So,
with, and in China, what was the style of training called?
so in martial arts, I started training from the age of 5. My uncle is a 6th-degree black belt in Renchen Kai karate. So I started in that. I made it to 1st-degree black belt in Renchen Kai. Then there was some discrepancies when I was going into the teenage age, because I achieved it pretty early. And I still wanted more rigorous training in a particular way. I was a major fan of Jackie Chan, a major fanatic of Bruce Lee. Realized when I realized they weren't doing karate, they were doing kung fu. I was like, I need to find kung fu.
Yeah.
During my time in high school, mid high school, I started doing wrestling. Of course, I really love wrestling, doing all that type of stuff, and a big fanatic of WWE type stuff and all of that stuff too. I originally was going to be a wrestler, but I'll get into that. But yeah, so martial arts. I started going to train with a guy named Jahi J. Zuri, and he studied Jeet Kune Do, and different elements of Jeet Kune Do was within it. So his main art was Kali, which is a Filipino art, and the other arts was Eskrima, Junfan, and shoot fighting.
Jin
So I
Kang
did
Do.
all
That
4.
sounds Japanese. Jin Kang Do.
No, so Jeet Kune Do
Kang Do.
is so it's if you look it up, it's basically the art or the phenomenon that is based on something that Bruce Lee basically came up with.
Yeah.
So it's
I like Wing Chun.
it's based. Yeah, well, it's not Wing Chun.
I like Wing Chun.
It's a fruit. So it's just the theory. It's just his understandings on his experience in martial arts, all combined together, from experience of different martial arts in fighting, and in just the way of life. So,
Yeah.
A mental understanding as well as a physical understanding, because we all know that martial arts is 30% physical, 70% more the mental side. Even though some people will flip that around,
Yeah.
I tend to look at it's not that. Literally, it's 30% physical and 70% that. But then I've had arguments with that type of thing. But yeah, Jeet Kune Do is a way of a particular open and free flowing. So some people may not get that when I'm saying that, but I have my different interpretation of what Bruce Lee gave to me in an understanding than others. And I can.
Can you do parkour? Can you do parkour?
What's that?
Can you do parkour?
A little bit. I started getting into parkour, I would say, mid 2000s, and I just thought to myself, I'm going to leave it to these other guys.
I can see you doing that.
It started getting more dangerous and more dangerous. It was like we were all in the gym, we were doing these flips off the wall, corkscrews, this and that. I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, let's go outside and do it. And I'm like, what? We're going to go outside.
Go outside. You know what? I always bust my shin.
Yeah, so we're going to go jumping off that building, and we're going to go there, and then we'll jump off that building and flip off of that, and then run off the wall and flip off of that. And it's like,
I want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I do.
And then they're like, yeah, sure, we can film that. And I'm like, all right, we film that. But then if I bust my ass and it's on camera.
It's okay. Just get up and do it again.
No, it's not okay, because I'm not trying to make it world star, bro. Break. To do
I don't like hitting my shins. I bust them up a lot at wavelengths, man. Trying to, the plank, that plank where you that was connected to like the apparatus. At the end, you had the plank, and you could do core on it or jump. I used to do box jumps on it, and One time I did a box jump that was above my head. I did it, but it took me like 5 attempts. I bust my shin like on both sides, but I didn't stop. I was bleeding. I was not stopping until I got on there. But I got on there. I got the footage as well somewhere, you know. But yeah, definitely, I love box jumps and I love parkour. It's really good for you, you know. So if I wanted to get a session with you, Rose, where would I book you? How would I find you and stuff?
So you'd have to directly DM me.
DM.
And
go in your DM.
And then basically connect. We then connect offline on, you know, basically on one of those.
Just DM on Instagram or DM on Facebook?
Box Messenger. What's that?
DM on Instagram, DM on Facebook. What? Where?
You can catch me via Instagram. DM me on Instagram, and then we can basically take it from there. I'll give you the instructions from there. Because what's happening is my brand is going through a big transformation. So not only I run 2 brands, so I run FitNatixs, and then I also run my fitness side of things, which is Shay Rozar's Fit Nation. So with that, those things are taking a whole different approach in that respect. So I'll be going on to Vox Messenger. So that's a new app, or it's been around for a while, but I'll be going on to Messenger and dealing with all clients via the website and Vox Messenger.
Yeah.
Also from May, I'll be live on the app, so I'll be no longer doing any one-to-one interaction unless, you know, I'm doing the boot camp for Fantastic Four, where I take 4 particular people. Otherwise, I'm taking any more clients, literally face-to-face. It's all online. And it's working. It works better that way. Yeah. So I'm literally Japan. I'm training people in Japan right now. I'm training people over in China, in Hong Kong, and it's working out for me. It's working. It's working better than it's consistent, and they're dedicated. And I haven't even met these people, but they're more dedicated people that I'm meeting face to face
in the UK,
which is it's just like over there. It's more of like a thing where they're just dedicated, like. Want to learn whatever I'm willing to give them. And I think that's the other thing too. If they're already captured in what you can do, it just adds to the arsenal in terms of them being excited. You give them exciting things they've never seen before, like some of the stuff you do. They're more than willing to drive. They appeal to those type of things. You know what I mean? So I like to mix martial arts and fitness as one. That's my thing.
You do. I mean, you do it really, really well, man. So before we go, can you give me some advice on, give advice to up-and-coming filmmakers, writers, illustrators, directors, entrepreneurs, personal trainers, because that's what you are. Fair things. Give advice to people who want to do the stuff that you're doing. Like, they're going to see this and be like, wow, that's what I want to do. Like, what would you tell them?
Well, all right. Before I answer that question, I would like to say,
hi, Marsha.
My current.
Sorry, I just saw that Marsha's on here. I love her because she's always supporting.
So what's up, cuz?
Yeah, what up?
So so I was gonna say before I answer that, my IG is new. It got hacked just before last year, so all the content that I'm known for, so the filmmaking, all my films or trailers or my fitness videos and all of those types of things, they're all gone. I'm having to rebuild everything. So
because I've got a secret, I went to your page, obviously, to do research, and it said follow back, and I was like, what? I've never unfollowed Rozar in my life. So you got hacked and had to redo it. So did a lot of people, did you lose a lot of people? Because it said I have to follow back, and I was like, but I follow you though. I don't get it.
Yeah, so it's basically that I had to do a whole new account.
Okay.
And so I'm now re-putting all the content on there, and I'm carefully placing it the right way.
And it looks way better now.
Yeah, so it's pretty much because Instagram is an advertisement tool. So I'm just basically putting everything there in a structured way of advertising all the things that I do. So some things that I say I can do, it may not show it, but it will show it soon. It's just in the daily post or weekly post. I'm still handling other rebranding and rebuilding and grinding and hustling and getting ready to start traveling the world again because everything's opening back up.
Yeah. So
But going back
sorry, back to the advice. Yeah.
For anybody doing any of the things that I have under my title. First off, if you do more than one thing, they always had the saying, which used to drive me crazy. It's jack of all trades and master of none. I can comfortably say now, after over 3 decades, that I have mastered all my trades. So all the things that I'm interested in, I mastered those. I know everything about it from the inside to the out, or everything I can. Of course, you're always evolving. You're always learning, even within the thing that you've known for decades. So that's fine because things are ever evolving, and that's cool. But just be on the game, be on the ball, know what's coming out, know what's getting ready to happen. Just be in the industry because you never know when the opportunity is going to open itself or reveal itself. And what I've realized, my experience is different. I'm not getting that knock at the door like that. I'm literally looking for the window to be open, and I'm climbing up in a robber.
Yeah, and you showed me how to do that as well. You showed me how to put myself out there, you know? You showed me that as well.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know, some people say, how are you doing all this? And at the same time, it's called structured management. So I'm able to wake up in the morning and do those 50 to 100 push-ups before I even go take a leak. Those types of things add to the rudiment discipline throughout your daily life and allow you to attack the goals or attack the things that you want in life the way you want. Just literally on the edge, and not on the edge of dropping, but on the edge of getting ready to float off. You know what I mean? Where I ain't got to touch the ground. But I've had to do the things over and over again. And consistency can be boring sometimes. But it's neat. So for all out there, I would say consistency is key. All right. Whatever you call it and be so, it will be so. Manifest. You are in charge of whatever happens to yourself. You are in charge of your own destiny.
You are.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's so true, Rosa. And you're so,
Whatever I've thought about has manifested itself to happen. It may not have happened there and then. And the reason why it may not happen there and then is because the universe is looking after me in that type of way. The Most High is looking after me in that type of way. We're saying, no, it's not now. It's going to come up later on when you least expect it. But at least be prepared for it when it does come, because when it does come, it's like wham. And you know, the way the industry's going right now with everything happening, blockchain, NFT, it's an open opportunity for this thing. So don't be illiterate out there. Get into the digital world, what's happening. But it doesn't mean you forget about the physical and sit down on your backsides just on the computers and on devices. It means carry out a balance, okay? Because with no balance, you know, like I said to my business partner, chi cannot flow without it being cultivated. You know, certain energies will stop your chi flow. So don't allow things to stop your chi flow.
Thank you so much, Roseman. You know, like, you're just so inspiring. Like, you always have the right thing to say, you know, like, you're an amazing coach. I can imagine how you are with people, and I've seen you face to face. I've seen you uplift someone just like that on the spot. You know what I mean? So I hope you have someone that's doing it for you, because you're always giving. So I hope there's people around you that are giving to you as well and helping you charge up yourself so you can keep giving us all this inspiration. Okay? I love you, bro. You know I love you. You're fine ass motherfucker, man. You're fine. Damn. And you're smart as well. God damn. All right. But I will see you later. Okay? And I love you. Hi, Charlene, babes. Hi. Say bye to everyone, Rose. I love you. I'll see you soon, yeah? All right. Peace and love.
Speak to you.